All right, so let's do an energy update for July the 26th through August the 2nd. I feel like this week, I feel like this month is a lot about the synthesis, the ability to understand that everything is happening all at once, which is something that I keep receiving intuitively. And when we talk about astrology, we are genuinely talking about the planets and the conversations that they're having in the sky. And so I'm going to run through and kind of tell you what is happening big picture, but I really would like for you to get your natal chart, and I want you to start to explore your natal chart because it will give you a lens to see the experiences that you're having with more intention on how to navigate them. If you've never seen me before, hello, my name is Stasia. I am an intuitive astrologer. I am also an oracle. I channel messages. But this is an energy update, and we'll see what, there's been a lot of messages that are coming through. But let's get through the energy update. Okay, so starting on Monday, today is how dare I skip today, the 26th. Today is the 26th of July. Saturn is retrograde. Saturn is retrograde. It is not completely stationed retrograde. That process will happen between today and August the 1st. And then it's going to stay retrograde until December the 10th. Saturn is in the sign of Aries. Neptune is also retrograde in the sign of Aries. You know, the important thing that I think that I want to talk about with Saturn, because there's so much to say, I feel like Saturn gets a bad rap. My grandmother was an astrologer, and she used to always tell me, like she saw Saturn as such like a doom and a gloom, like a fearful, like, oh no, you're about to approach this year ruled by Saturn type of energy. And I understand it more as a psychological, like our psyche. I will tell you that as Saturn is stationed in retrograde, it is going to bring things so close to our reality that it's going to be, people call that karma, because you're going to have to sit in it's an audit, right? It's an audit of what you have built in the Aries area of your life so far, what effort you have put in the Aries area of your life thus far. And Saturn, it does not do well in Aries because Saturn is this maturity. It's discipline. It's the government. It's leadership. It is authority, you know? And so it's like, and in Aries, that's the infant. That's where the soul meets the body. And Aries has this immaturity to it, just naturally. When you tell an Aries you're immature, they really get offended. But it's more of like a curiosity, like, ooh, can I touch that? Ooh. And we all have an Aries area of our chart, right? Mine is my 9th house. So, you know, like I get the immaturity of like, how come I gotta believe that? I don't want to believe that. I want to explore what I believe, and nobody can tell me nothing about that, right? I understand that energy. But Saturn there holistically is going to make us lose the things that Aries naturally gives us. So naturally we get confidence. We're courageous in our Aries area of chart. And with Saturn there, not so much. Because it's like you got a teacher looking at you going, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? And when you have this pressure of this heaviness, then you're kind of like, I want to make sure that I'm doing it right. And as a collective, I feel like, you know, we have hit the 0 degree point of Aries, which means that we're all in this new collective frequency. That is a fact. I just heard that is a fact, Jack. So I don't know who says that. But that's what I'm hearing, right? And so we're in this new frequency, and we don't really have, like, we're coming in it with wisdom. Some of us are coming in it with wisdom. Especially those who have lived through like a Saturn return before. There's wisdom of like, okay, what are we doing with this? Because we can see that things are different. But there's also not good insight because we don't know. We've never seen this happen before, right? It's like everything is broke. Okay, so who's in charge? Who do we put in charge? So there's some uncertainty. There's a narrowness around it. It's like we know that we're coming with some experience, but that experience is showing us what we've built over the last 14 years externally, and we can see that those things don't work. But we don't really have the wisdom because we haven't had any experiences in the new frequency to really know what the fuck to do to fix it. But we will, right? I feel like that is why we get this cosmic insight. And it's like when they built the pyramids, right? I'm pretty sure that they weren't like, oh, let's build pyramids. There's like intelligence in us that is highly connected to source. And I feel like that is why we're tapping into it, because the job is big that we're being asked to do right now. Whole time, Saturn went retrograde today on July the 26th. Also today, the North Node and the South Node flip signs. So where were they? The South Node was in Virgo, the sign of perfectionism, the sign of analytical, mundane task. I want to do it. I want to do it right. I want to be validated. Tell me I'm doing a good job. Am I doing it the right way? I want to do it the right way. How can I help you? Can I be of service to you? And I want to, you know, like I need the order. I want the process. I need to understand the details of what's happening right now. And the South Node was saying, well, you're not going to know, honey. So I'm going to need you to have faith, Pisces. I'm going to need you to get out of your comfort zone of what you already know. And I'm going to need you to reach for the North Node. And the North Node was in Pisces, saying you ain't got a choice but to have faith. You know, like you have faith, you can have creativity. There's also escapism with Pisces. It's like low vibration of Pisces is I'm drunk, I'm fucked up, I just want to smoke a little bit because this shit is heavy. I need to be a little elusive. I need to tap in, which is why I feel like people are going to substances to try to reach a higher frequency, because we know that the higher frequency exists. But with the North Node in Pisces, everybody is going to find their way to their own divinity, to their own source energy that is connected to source, right? So that is where the North Node and the South Node have been. They've been in Virgo, asking us to release the comfort zone of knowing what the fuck is going on, knowing that we're not going to do it perfect. Virgos, or in the Virgo area of your chart, there could be this newfound belief of like, I don't know, but I'm going to figure it out. Like, I don't know, but it's going to work out. I don't need to know. Like, because that's not, it's stressing me out, right? I'm going to just have faith and know that things are going to work out. So the South Node is now moving into Leo. Okay. And the North Node is moving into Aquarius, because the South Node and the North Node work as an access point. It's a me into we energy. How do I, Leo and the South Node, release the comfort of the South Node in Leo? What is that even, right? It is unhealthy ego. It is looking and living vicariously through other people's luxury. It is not feeling like you're confident enough or courageous enough or brave enough to be the person in that existence. It's also this energy of like being seen and being okay being seen, but what are you being seen for? And is it something meaningful that is going to help the collective? Because again, we're stretching for that North Node. And the North Node is in Aquarius, which is a little detached, lacking emotion, and saying, how are we going to revolutionize? This isn't a time of rebelliousness. This is a time of understanding that if we keep going that way, even if the sign says go that way, that we're going to fall off the fucking cliff, because we can see that is not the path to follow. So what do we do, and how do we do it from a innovative perspective that is really going to lead us into the future? Not just now, not just band-aids, but like a reset. So today, the North Node moved into Aquarius, the South Node moved into Leo. There is going to be a more individual, we want to watch the normal person, that we're not really into, you know, like the big, dramatic, scenic movies, or, you know, people are going to watch YouTube or TikTok or what have you, but they're not going to be into this old like paradigm of Leo energy. All right, North Node and South Node have changed. Saturn is retrograde, and then we're going to go into Monday. And this week is about, it's a week to understand that energy is layered, right? It's a synthesized type of effect. So pay attention to your life because things are going to be happening. On Monday, we have the Sun in Leo, which is going to oppose Pluto in Aquarius. We have the Sun in Leo, which is going to trine Neptune in Aries. We have the Sun in Leo, which is going to sextile Uranus in Gemini. So this is telling me that we are going to heal. There's going to be things that are highlighted and revealed. There's going to be a lot of things that probably shock us. But it is coming up because now that Neptune is retrograde, we understand that things are not as foggy as we were making them, that we were choosing to live in some sort of delusional infrastructure with our belief systems. And I feel like the Sun in Leo is going to shine so bright on that it's going to be like, dang, I just feel this belief in energy in people kind of waking up where you're able to see it or articulate it or feel it or express it. And then the sextile to Uranus, I just feel like there's going to be a lot of messages that come through. I feel like there's going to be a lot of things that are highlighted from our mental perspective. There's going to be opportunities for new conversations. There's going to be opportunities for, like maybe even, it depends on your area of chart to see how this plays out. But the Sun in Leo sextiling Uranus and Gemini is a really good energy. It opposing Pluto. It's been in opposition to Pluto. And I just get this sense that people are not going to be able to hide. You can't really hide who you are. You can't really hide anymore. I feel like that is being taken care of by God. And this week is heavy on that. The other thing that is happening this week is that we're going to have an Aquarius full moon. That happens on the 29th of July, which is going to be Wednesday. So Wednesday, we're going to have a full moon. We're going to be feeling the effects of that. You may be more tired, but something is going to be highlighted. If you are a Leo rising, you may go through some sort of relationship breakup. If you are a Libra rising, you may go through some sort of, I'm not talking to that person anymore because they're not giving me what I feel like I need from a dating perspective, a fling, right? You could be ending relationships with people that are like flings or that you dated a little bit, but not a serious commitment. Leo risings, you're going to be ending relationships with people that you've had serious, committed, situational relationships with. I am actually going to come back and do horoscopes, like video horoscopes, because I feel like it's just one of those weeks where each sign needs a little bit more support so you can understand what's happening. I am going to do them by rising sign, so look for that today and tomorrow. I love you. I hope this helps.